That night, I didn't realize that the heavy footsteps I heard outside my door weren't just from one person. There were many of them. My name is Aaron Miller. I'm a city guy, but sometimes I crave total isolation. I had 2 weeks off work, so I decided to rent an old hideaway cabin deep in the mountain woods. No cell service, no neighbors, just me and the desolate wilderness. The cabin sat in the deepest part of the pine forest. During the day, it was peaceful, but when dusk fell, a strange, unnatural silence took over. A silence so deep that the sound of my own breathing felt unsettling. The first 2 days were fine, but the third night changed everything. It was 11:30 p.m. The fireplace was crackling inside, and a freezing wind was howling outdoors. Suddenly, thump, thump. The sound was coming from right outside the door. Heavy footsteps. This wasn't a wild animal. It was rhythmic, calculated, like someone was pacing with intent. First on the right side of the cabin, then the left. It felt like someone was circling me, studying the place. I immediately killed all the lights. I grabbed my phone. Nothing. No signal. Then everything went quiet. And that's when I realized silence is sometimes far more terrifying than sound. I didn't sleep for a single second. At dawn, with trembling hands, I pushed the door open and stepped outside. My blood turned to ice. All around the cabin, there were hundreds of footprints, human boot prints. The entire place had been surrounded. The tracks stopped right at my doorstep, but no one had tried to break in. No one had even knocked. It was as if they spent the entire night just standing there, watching me. If this story is making your heart race and you enjoy these kinds of gritty, real-life, chilling tales, hit that subscribe button right now, because what comes next is even more disturbing. I decided right then I had to get out. But when I reached my pickup truck, I saw them. Countless footprints circling the tires. They knew exactly when I'd come out and which car I'd use to escape. 2 days later, back in the city, I went to the local sheriff's office. An older officer listened to my story and let out a long sigh. There are people who live deep in those woods, completely isolated from society. They don't follow any laws. Mostly, they just observe outsiders. I asked him in a shaky voice, "Why didn't they attack me? Why didn't they hurt me?" The officer looked me in the eye and said slowly, "Because you didn't provoke them. To them, you were just a quiet guest." His final words still haunt me. The ones who disturb them or bang on the doors, they're the ones in trouble. But the ones who just stand and watch, they're the ones deciding their next move. Even now, on some late nights, I hear heavy footsteps outside my window. I know they might not be following me, but I also know there are fears in this world that don't come from ghosts. They come from flesh and blood, from a group of people standing silently in the dark. Which part of this story chilled you the most? Let me know in the comments. If you've ever had an experience like this, share it with us. And if this story gave you the chills, don't forget to share it with your friends and family.